on the surfacer or planer, one of the first things you need to do is to be able to stop the machine so it doesn't roll back and forth. And on this particular machine, because we've been going in and out of the shop here, my front feet have been wore off or broken off, so we have to put this board up underneath it and then set it down. Now it's secure and it won't move. What I want to do is to make sure, first of all stock that is run through this machine, through this surfacer, has to meet the requirement of going from post to post or roller to roller. If your board is too short to where it can't reach the other side before it leaves this first one, I prefer you not to run this through this machine. There is a way to do it, but that's a special setup, and I don't want you running it. I want to know about it ahead of time and help you with that setup. So if your board is short and cannot reach from end to end, stop. Don't run it. Second thing, when you're looking at the gauge here on the side, your measurement gauge, one side of it is metric, one side of it is standard. Don't get confused between the two and try to set it up here for 1 inch being 1 centimeter. Make sure that you can tell the difference between the two. You just obviously have to take a look at it. This measurement is not an exact measurement, so you have to. What I try to do is to sneak up on it. If I want this down to 3/4 of an inch, and it's just a little bit above 3/4, I'll go ahead and set my machine on 3/4, run it through, and as it's running, I'll dial this machine up or dial the cutters up to where it's just barely starting to take off some off the wood, and then rerun it through again, making sure that it's all uniform and cut. When you're cutting a large number of pieces of wood, you do not want to take one board and run it through and then crank this down, run it through again, and crank it down and run it through until you get it to the size you want, and then go get the next board and bring it over. You want to run all the boards through at one setting. Pile them up, bring them back, move your setting, and run all the boards through again. And determine whether you're going to go face up or face down, whichever one you're needing to cut off. But run all the boards through at one time. And that way when you get down to the finish, if you happen to be, 1/28 of an inch over 3/4, they're all going to be that way. And they will all fit back together. That way you don't have one over 3/4 and one under 3/4. Just works out better that way. Second thing, very important, the depth gauge here, I don't want it run more than a half a turn. In other words, you run your boards through and they're cutting. The maximum that you're going to cut off the next run is a half a turn. That's a 1/16 of an inch. So run each board through and move it up half an inch. And what you're doing is you're bringing the table up to the cutter. The cutter is on top and it's stationary. The table itself goes up and meets the table or the cutter. And 1/4 of an inch is the thinnest that you can run through these machines. Now, there is a way to get thinner, but we'll talk about that individually. But for right now, 1/4 of an inch is as thin a material as you can run through this machine. 14 inches wide is as wide as you can go. Okay? Make sure that you have the dust collecting system set up, coming out of the output. Just make sure that when you turn it on, you don't hear any clinking or any grinding noises. It should just hum. When you're turning it on, don't pull out on my knob. You pull out here and it's just going to break. Twist it and it'll pop out spring fed. And when you're shutting it off, just push in and you're done. Okay? On cleanup on this machine, you need to lower the table down, blow out up from underneath here, blow up into the cutter, blow in here, and it'll clean all of that dust and the chips that's laying up on these ledges inside here. Blow them out. And then when you're done, store it back in its proper parking spot. Thank you.